Number 1, find the x and y intercepts of the graph. To find the x-intercept, that means that y is equal to 0. So we're going to plug that in here, and we get 9x plus 0 is equal to 19, or just 9x is equal to 19. So we divide, and we get 19/9. To find the y-intercept, we will plug in x is equal to 0. So we take that, and this time it gets plugged in over here. So 9 times 0 plus y is equal to 19. So that part goes away when you have y is equal to 19. There's our y-intercept, there's our x-intercept. Doing the same thing a little bit faster, the x-intercept, the y goes away, so I have x is equal to 13. The y-intercept, the x goes away, so I have negative 6y is equal to 13. So that's just y is equal to negative 13 over 6. Number 3, to find the x-intercept, the y part goes away. 6x is 18, or x is 3. So I go to my x-axis here at 3 and put a dot. For the y-intercept, I get rid of the x's, and I have negative 9y is equal to 18. If I divide both sides by negative 9, I get y is equal to negative 2. On the y-axis here, that's this point here. So this is my line. Number 4. For my x-intercept, I write 4x is equal to 32. This is x-intercept. X is equal to 8. I'm going to plot that right here. For my y-intercept, I get rid of the other ones, and I have 4y is equal to 32, or y is equal to 8. So it goes right here. This is my line. Number 5, to find the slope, first I have to get to y equals mx plus b. So my goal is to make this one look like this. Notice that the x's should be over there. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides of the equal sign. On the left, they cancel out. On the right, I'm going to put 4x minus 2. I like to put the x's first just because that's where they typically go. In this case, my slope is just whatever's in front of x, so here it's going to be 4. This one they ask for the y-intercept, but the steps are the same. First, I'm going to move the x over here. 2y is equal to negative 2x minus 4. Now I have all the y's and the m's and the b's on the right sides. The last thing I do is I divide by whatever's in front of y. I don't just divide once or twice, I divide everything by 2. This gives me negative x minus 2. This is the part they want. They want the y-intercept, so b is equal to negative 2. There's your answer. Next up, put this equation into slope-intercept form. Minus 9x, because I want all the x's on the right, so I have 3y is equal to negative 9x minus 15. I divide by what's in front of y. I have y is equal to negative 3x minus 5. Here, if I subtract 2x to move this to the right, I have negative y is equal to negative 2x plus 1. I want to divide out this negative, so that flips the sign of everything, and now I have 2x minus 1. And we want the whole equation. Next up, let's consider if I have 2x minus 2y is equal to 38, what should the x-intercept be? That's going to be 2x is 38, or x is going to be at 19. So that looks good. This is not at 19. Cross that one out. This one looks good. This one is not at 19. Let's cross that one out. To find the y-intercept, I know that negative 2y is going to be 38. So that tells me that y is negative 19. Out of the two that are left, this is the right answer, C, because this one has the wrong y-intercept. This one's backwards. We see here that our x-intercept is something like 8, and our y-intercept is something like negative 8. So let's try plugging those in. For this one, if we cover up our x, our y is going to be 8, which is not it, because we want negative 8. This one would work based on the y-intercepts. This one would not work, and this one would also not work. So just choosing on the y-intercepts, which means crossing out the x's, it's going to be B. I find the x and the y-intercept of each of these, and I figure out which one works for both, given the graph. First thing I do is I find m. I'm going to make a table xy. I have negative 4, and negative 2, 2. So this is going up 6, and this is going up 2. So my slope is going to be the change in y divided by the change in x, which is 6 over 2, which is just 3. If m is 3, I'm halfway there. Next, I need to find b. So the first thing I do is pick a point. One of my originals, let's say I pick -2, 2. This means that x is -2 and y is +2. So I'm going to plug into y equals mx plus b with what I know. This is going to plug in right here. This 2 is going to go in over on this side, and this 3 is going to get plugged in right about there. So 2 is equal to 3 times -2 plus b. If I multiply, I get 2 is equal to -6 plus b. Then I'm going to add 6 to both sides, and I get that 8 is equal to b. Now that I've found my two values, I put it all together. Y is equal to 3x plus 8. And that's my equation. Same thing for the next one. First I find m. So I'm going to make a table x, y. I have 8 and 1 and 5 and -2. What's my pattern? I'm going -3. I'm going -3. So change in y divided by change in x is -3 divided by -3, or just 1. So m is equal to 1. Next thing I do is I find b. So I'm going to pick this point 8, 1. X is 8, y is 1, and let's take y equals mx plus b and replace. So I'm going to put a 1 here, a 1 here, an 8 here, and I get this. So 1 is equal to 8 plus b, minus 8 to both sides. -7 is b. Put it all together into my equation. Y is equal to x minus 7. The m from the left column, the b from the right column, there it is. Sometimes when you go to find the slope, you will find that one of them doesn't change. 6 and 1, -5 and 1. Plus 0. If y doesn't change, then your answer is just y is equal to 1. Same thing happens here, but with the other letter, 7, 6, and 7, -4. Notice that the x is plus 0. So your answer is just x equals 7. These are the exceptions for vertical and horizontal lines. They look different. They're not y equals mx plus b. And that's how you spot them. In the slope, you'll see a 0. So there's a 5 and a 2. You'll see the word every. That's a slope word. So just thinking it's going to be 2 times t plus 5 for your phi. Now, for 2 hours, they want you to plug that in. And then it's 2 times 2 plus 5. And that part is going to be $9. But the general format is just 2t plus 5. Next up, we start with 11, and then we reduce, but it has the word each, so that's your slope. And this one is your y-intercept, by the way. So the general format is going to be 11 minus 1.5 times t. And specifically, if we've been driving for 2 hours, that's 11 minus 1.5 times 2. And that is just 8. So K and 250, so I'll put 2.5 K. And then strawberries are $3 a pound, so I'll add 3S. And this is our cost. That's the general equation. To plug in specific values, $2.50 times 2.5 pounds plus $3 per pound times 3 pounds of strawberries. This will be 15.25. Now they use X instead of K, and they use Y instead of S. I just defaulted to K and S because K for kiwi and S for strawberry, so I don't forget which is which. $16 an hour at the grocery store, so I'll put 16G. $15 an hour at the nursery, so I'll put 15N. That's my general formula for the amount of pay you get. Specifically, we do 16 times 14 hours plus 15 times 7 hours, and that's our total pay. So in this example, it's $329. Starting salary, that's like our B value. Raise, that's like our M value. So 3,500X plus 57,000 is the general formula. And if I type this in with a 9 years, I can figure out the specific salary after 9 years. And that value is $88,500. Here we have 10 nickels, so a nickel is worth 5 cents, and a quarter is worth 25 cents. And this is our total money. So if you have 10 nickels and we have 4 quarters, we can multiply this out and get $1.50, which is 150 cents. Or you could write it as $1.50. Now they use X for nickels and Y for quarters, which I would also accept, but I think N and Q make perfect sense.